About myself. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Taras. I'm 17 years old. I'm at 11th grade. 1-1. There are 2 more kids in the family besides me, my elder brother Oleg and my younger sister Marija. Oleg is 21, he attends a university, he will be a dentist. Marija is only 12, she is a schoolgirl. I forgot to mention one more member of our family. It's our favorite poodle Tim. My parents are not old at all. My mum is 40, she works for a newspaper. My dad is 44, he is an engineer in computers. My parents love their jobs very much. I'm doing quite well at school. My parents are proud of my marks. I go in for sports. I play basketball. In summertime I like yachting and windsurfing. I take part in different basketball competitions. In a year I shall finish my school and I have to decide what occupation to choose. I have been studying English for 7 years. I want to be a military interpreter. My grandparents are already retired. They like gardening. And spend all their time growing tomatoes, potatoes, onions, strawberries, raspberries. About my family. My family is not very big, just a typical family, dad, mom, me, my brother and sister and our cat. My mummy is 41, she is a teacher of Spanish at the university. She is a born teacher. She has teaching abilities. My dad is 42, he is a professional painter, he works for a design company. My parents both like their work very much. My elder sister Natasha is 19, she goes to the university, she wants to be a teacher of history. She is fond of reading books on history and fiction. My younger brother Igor is only 6 years old, he goes to the kindergarten. He is very funny, I like to spend my free time teaching him something. Igor likes to play with our cat. My grandparents are retired. They like gardening. They spend a lot of their time in the garden. They grow vegetables and fruits. We enjoy having fresh vegetables and green on our dinner table. I love my family very much. We always help each other. Everyone in my family is my best friend. My school, 1. As you become older, you realize that there are several essential things and places you always long to come back to. They are your birthplace, your home, and the school you went to. My school was a 3-storied building situated in one of the residential districts of our city, town, settlement. All the children from the neighborhood went there because it was a walking distance from their homes. There was a sports ground behind the school building. And a green lawn with flower beds in front of it. The school was built a few years ago. That's why its classrooms were light and spacious. There were 3 large windows in each classroom with flower pots on the window sills. It was pupils, especially girls, responsibility to water the flowers. And they did it with utmost care. There were maps and portraits, tables and charts on the walls of the classrooms. Our classroom was on the 2nd floor. Its windows faced the schoolyard. Our form was the only one at school who had a form master, but not a form mistress. He appeared to be a very kind and knowledgeable teacher. Who spared no time to take us to different places of interest and exhibitions. He taught us Russian and Russian literature. We respected him very much. Our lessons began at 8 o'clock in the morning and lasted till 1:30 in the afternoon. We had 6 lessons a day. Every pupil had a daybook where the teachers wrote down the mark each pupil had earned for his answers. The teacher also wrote down the mark in the class register. When the teacher asked a question, the pupils who could answer it raised their hands. And the teacher called out one of them to answer the question. The pupils were often called to the blackboard to do some exercises or to write some sentences. When they made mistakes, other pupils were called out. To correct those mistakes, or the teacher corrected them herself. After every lesson, the teachers gave us some home assignments, both written and oral. At the next lesson, the teachers checked them up. The teachers often took our exercise books home to check them up. If there were any mistakes, they corrected them and gave us marks. At the end of each quarter, we got our report cards which our parents signed. At the end of the study year, we were promoted to the next form. My school, 2. My school is a 3-storied building. It is quite big, with sport ground behind it, inside swimming pool. On the ground floor there are the classrooms for the primary school pupils, workshops, library. There are all kinds of tools and machines in the workshops. The boys of our school have a woodwork room too. There is a room for manual works for girls. Teachers teach them how to cook, sew and design clothes. Our school library is nice and clean. Two librarians help pupils to find books they need. There are many bookcases and bookshelves with a lot of books there. If you enter the school and turn right, you see a big light dining room. It is always busy and noisy, but it is clean. Here pupils and their teachers have their lunch. There are blue curtains on the windows and beautiful pictures on the walls. There is a gymnasium on the ground floor as well. Our physical training lessons are held there. Pupils like to go there even after the lessons, because it has a lot of sport equipment. Our school has many classrooms. The classrooms are light and spacious. There are 3 large windows in each classroom with flower pots on the window sills. Each room has teacher's table, pupils' desks, blackboard, tables and charts on the wall, maps and portraits. There are special classrooms for chemistry, physics, biology, history, geography, English, and Russian. On the 3rd floor there is a big nice assemble hall. A lot of meetings, concerts, festivals are held there. Our classroom is on the 2nd floor. Its windows face the schoolyard. Our form mistress is a teacher of Russian language and literature. We respect her very much, she is a kind and knowledgeable teacher. She teaches us Russian and is so fond of her subject, that each of us cannot help liking to. When I think about my school, I don't remember its walls and desks. It is my teachers and schoolmates who will be always with me. I am so thankful to our teachers for what they have done for us. School life. I am a pupil of the 11th form, I study at school number 9. I would like to tell you about our school life. I go to school 5 days a week. Our classes start at 8 o'clock a.m. and last till 3 o'clock p.m. 8-3. So we have 6 or 7 lessons a day. We study many different subjects, Russian, English, French, literatures. History, geography, biology, physics, chemistry, mathematics, programming and computer sciences. Languages, literature and history are my favorite subjects. I make good marks in these subjects. The school year is divided into 4 terms, called quarters. It begins on the 1st of September, known as a Day of Knowledge, and finishes in May. 1. Each quarter is followed by holidays. Every pupil has a daybook where the teachers put down the marks that pupil has earned at the class. During the classes, pupils are to answer the teacher's questions. Do some exercises, write sentences, count, read. The pupils are often called to the blackboard. After every lesson the teachers give us home assignment. At the next lesson the teachers check them up. To do good at school one should make home assignments regularly. Be active at the lessons and spend at least 2-3 hours every day studying. I like studying. My favorite proverb is live and learn. The subjects we do at school. My favorite subject, 1. We did quite a lot of subjects at school. They were physics, mathematics, biology, Russian literature. Chemistry, English, history of this country and many other subjects. It was rather difficult to go to school when a school leaver, we had so much to do. I know that all the subjects are important and they all must be paid much attention to. But still I didn't like exact sciences. I spent much time on doing them at home. However hard I tried, all those formulas and definitions were mixed up in my head. And I couldn't make it out after all. So I had nothing to do but sit for 2 or 3 hours swatting physics, chemistry and maths. My favorite subjects were literature, history, English. Most of all I liked English. I read English books, tried to translate some stories from newspapers. From English into Russian and vice versa. I had some English handbooks and they were of great help to me. When I studied English grammar and did some exercises. At our English lessons we read quite a lot of dull texts from our textbooks. But in my view, written texts and textbooks are not important. The best way to improve your language skills and habits is to work at a language laboratory. But there was no good language laboratory at our school. And I spent plenty of time at home listening to the tapes. Imitating the sounds and intonations of the native speakers of English. I was working hard at my pronunciation because my teacher said that it was my weak point. Sometimes I spoke English with my friends after classes. And they said I was making good progress in the language. I decided to take my entrance exams to the institute because I want to know English. Nowadays, it's impossible to do without foreign languages. Because of expanding economic, cultural ties of this country with other countries of the world. Besides, one can't be a learned and well-educated person if he doesn't know at least one foreign language. As for me, I'd like to read English and American literature. To understand it without resorting to anybody's help. The subjects we studied at school. My favorite subject, 2. We did quite a lot of subjects at school. They were mathematics, physics, chemistry, history, geography. Russian, English, literature and others. Every teacher asked for equal and adequate attention to his subject. And it was not an easy work to do. I knew that all the subjects were important, but still I was always indifferent to exact sciences. Since my childhood I have been fond of reading. My favorite subjects were literature and languages. When I started studying English, the first thing I got interested in was the different way to express one and the same idea in English and Russian. I wondered why if an Englishman is upset or gloomy he does not say, I have a bad mood like Russians do, but says, I feel blue. There is an infinite number of such things in any language. I read English books, tried to translate some articles from Moscow News. Very often I borrowed English books from our school library. I spend a lot of time studying grammar and doing exercises. At our English lessons we read quite a lot, but didn't talk much. So me and my friends decided to speak English among us. Very often I spoke English with my friends on the way home after classes. The school I would like. The school I would like would have a swimming pool. I'd have one for the first and second years and also for the third and fourth years. The playgrounds would be separate. One for the young children and the other for the senior forms. A wall would be separating them and there would be a door from one playground to the other. The classrooms would have carpets instead of lino. The desks would be painted and the chairs would have cushions. The chairs would also be painted. There would be a computer for every table in the classroom. There would be at least 12 videos for each classroom. The hall would be very big, about 40 meters long and 30 meters wide. 40-30. The lessons would be interesting. There would be lots of French and German and English. There would be 4 floors at the school. There would be a lift to take us up. The staff room would be much bigger than the one we have now. It would be light and cozy. There would also be a big library. There would be a lot of instruments, flutes, guitars, drums, etc. The school meals would have different food every day. There would be lots of visits to concerts and parks. The tests would be easier for children.